So I want to start, this is actually the last one on your paper on the bottom right. So 4x minus 3y is less than 9. X plus 3y is greater than 6. The key with this basically, and you'll notice, like for example, the one above it, the y is already by itself. So you can just graph these on the calculator. With these, the y is not by itself, so we've got to get it by itself. So we'll start with this top one. So we've got 4x minus 3y is less than 9, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is move this 4x over. It's a positive 4x. So when I move it, obviously it's going to become negative. So it'll be negative 4x plus 9 on that side. Now we've got to get the y by itself, so I'll divide everything by negative 3. So now I've got that y by itself. Negative 4x divided by negative 3. Negative divided by a negative is going to turn into a positive 4/3 x. Positive 9 divided by a negative 3. It's going to be a minus 3. Now notice right here, I divided by a negative. If you divide by a negative, then this symbol is just going to flip around. Okay, that's the only thing you really need to be careful of. So if you divide by a negative, so I divided by a negative 3, your symbol is going to flip around. So now my first equation became y is greater than 4/3 x minus 3. So I can get my calculator. Okay, I'm going to start a new graph. Okay, hopefully you guys have done this before. I obviously don't want an equal sign. I want this right here. So I can press delete. I can go down to find my symbol, okay, and then type this in. So I've got 4/3 x minus 3, okay. What I want you guys to pay attention to right here, notice your line is dotted. So when you graph this line, it has to be dotted. Okay, so I'm going to get this on my graph. I've got a point here, I've got one down here. Okay, and this line, when I graph it, is going to be dotted. Okay, so that line's dotted, and the shading is over here to the left or to the top. Okay, so I've got the first one done. Now I need to look at this second one. I'm going to do that in a different color. Okay, so my second equation or inequality is x plus 3y is greater than 6. Obviously need the y by itself, so I'm going to move that x over. Bring this down. When it moves over, it's positive right now, so we'll put a negative x when we move it, plus that 6. Okay, and then we'll divide everything by 3. So y, remember that's a 1, so we've got negative 1/3 x. 6 divided by 3, that gives me a positive 2. Now notice I divided here, but this 3 is positive. Doesn't matter that that 1 is negative. It depends on what you divide by. So this 3 is positive, so my symbol is just going to stay the same. Okay, so now I've changed my second equation or inequality. So now I can get that graphed as well. Okay, so let's see, I've got, press delete there, remember? Go down to this fourth one. I've got negative 1/3 x plus 2. Check to see. Okay, so this line's also dotted. Remember, you've got to be careful. Okay, so now I can get this down. Got a point up here at 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over at 6. Okay, and this line is dotted as well. Okay, and let's see, our shading is up here. Okay, shadings to the top. So basically what we're seeing now, so we changed both of our equations so that we could graph them here. So the blue shading is this way, the pink shading is this way. So what this means is that our actual solution set is made up of the part where both the shadings overlap, okay? And I'll get this highlighter, okay? So you can see we've got blue shading here, just blue here, just pink here, but right here we have both. So this, where I'm highlighting, is where our actual solutions are, okay? So the XY coordinates that work are the ones up here, where both of the shadings overlap. So the blue and the pink, that's great. Okay, blue and the shading separate is great, but we want where they overlap. So this is our solution sets. Both lines are dotted. Therefore, the points on the lines do not matter. Okay, the points on the lines don't count because they are dotted. Okay, so this is our solution set right here.